and they're gonna play their certain games. I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool, blah 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 blah. But don't you feel that it might get stale after a while, knowing that you have a whole library and you're like, well, I guess they're not gonna update shit because we already have the whole entire library there in our hands, and all I gotta do is just maybe once in a blue just activate the fucking PlayStation Plus Premium or Extra just to play them. Now, that's my thought, or should I say, that's kind of a question. What do you think? Do you think I'm kind of like in that ballpark area? Like, if, let's say, for instance, they did something like that, Willie?
I mean, personally, I think that's a pretty dumb way of seeing things.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Miami Geeks Weekly Updates, brought to you by digitalcracknetwork.com. I'm your host, Punch305. With me, as always, old school gaming specialist, Uncle Willie.
Fucking Wednesday, am I right?
Yeah. I'm gonna call it now. I mean, it's Wednesday. It's gonna be a hard week. Just saying it right now.
I get it.
Oh yeah.
It's been a very difficult month and a half.
No, definitely. I mean, yeah. I thought in the beginning it was pretty okay. It was already kind of chilling. I was like, all right, this is not bad. But for some weird reason, this week is the week that just put you straight to hell. It is the fucking worst. Like, oh my God. Like, I couldn't.
No, I couldn't either.
But why don't, you know what, Willie? What?
Oops.
What you do?
Yeah, I didn't want to mention anything. I just wanted to go ahead and go to the podcast. But I popped in a game while we were waiting to start, and I made a boo-boo.
What did you do, Willie?
I'm playing Death Smiles. You know how much I love that game.
Of course.
And I hadn't played in a while, so I figured I'd get back into it. And I accidentally selected level 999.
Oh, dang it, Bobby.
What the fuck were you thinking?
I was thinking I'd play some of this game and I'll have fun. But now I'm going to hate my life. Yeah, I'm not ready for this.
Well, get ready for that, Willie, because we're going to be talking about your fucking tantrums and whatever's going on right now in July, which Sony revealed July's PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium games. And I have to say that I'm pretty much pleased. I'm very pleased. So Sony pretty much announced its PlayStation lineup for this month for Extra and Premium members. And one of the games has to be Stray, which I had no idea that shit's going to come out, you know, like that for us. Willie.
Stray, or as I like to call it, Kakatui.
Kakatui. But okay, Willie, being that this is a pretty new game that they're going to be shooting out for PlayStation Premium and Extra, that's not the only game they're announcing. They're pretty much announcing a lot of the Assassin's Creed games and a bunch of others. Can you run down the games that are coming out?
Okay, highlights. There's a few games here.
Okay.
Highlights. Stray, which, as you mentioned, it's not even out yet.
And that's why I'm kind of like, wow, okay, that's a first. That's pretty cool.
This is not a Sony first party title, so the fact that they're including it there doesn't violate their rules.
But still, brand new game. Can't go wrong.
Kakatui is there. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate only for the PS5. I should have said that's for the PS4 and PS5. Marvel's Avengers for PS4 and PS5.
Okay.
5 Assassin's Creed games for the PS4. Unity, Black Flag, Rogue, Freedom Cry, and the Ezio Collection. Essentially 7, because the Ezio Collection is 3 games. Saints Row 4 Re-Elected and Saints Row Get Out of Hell. Saints Row 4, you need to play that game.
I shall now.
And then the less hard-hitting games. Spirit of the North Enhanced Edition, Ice Age Scratch Nutty Adventure, Jumanji the video game, the real star of the show, Paw Patrol on a Roll, Race of Heroes, No Heroes Alive, and Loco Roco Midnight Carnival for the PSP. The last 2 are PSP games, I should say.
Okay, all right, but still, it's not a bad lineup, which I could actually say that's pretty interesting for you know, for this thing that came out in a month ago, and they're shooting out pretty much all these cool games. Yes, we're gonna have a couple misses, not so bad. I mean, still, those games could be still, you know, for kids and shit if you're gonna let them play with it. But the other games above it, it's not so bad at all. Like pretty hard, I should say. But Willie, I'm gonna have to say that's not the only news that we have for PlayStation Plus and Premium and Extra. Supposedly, there was some hints that they're going to announce Dino Crisis, Ridge Racer 2, and Soulcalibur Broken Destiny for the PSP. But they were announced in Italy, and for some apparent reason, because I guess people got a whiff of it, they took it down. But like you said before, the internet is not forgiving, and they all have screenshots of this shit. Now, the fact that they're announcing this in Italy, is there a possibility that we're going to be getting a North America release of this as well? Is it kind of like a surprise, or is it kind of like having them tested before it comes to North America? What are your thoughts about that, Willie?
I don't know. But like you said, this was a blog post on the Italian PlayStation site, the PlayStation blog site. They did announce 3 extra titles. The big one that everyone keeps talking about is Dino Crisis.
Yeah, for the PlayStation 1.
Jesus Christ. When Capcom they showed Exo Primal not too long ago, people were hoping that it was a spiritual successor to Dino Crisis because it looked like it had hints of, you know, Dino Crisis that people in it. Turns out, Capcom says, no. Now people are wondering if maybe the PS1 version of the original Dino Crisis will make it because of this post that was removed rather quickly. I don't know, man. I mean, it's like I said before, with not just in the case of Sony, making Microsoft's and especially in Nintendo's case, with all the IP that they control, how the hell are they not throwing more things at us?
I'm surprised, but I'm trying to think about it in a point of view, Whitley. Like, if let's say, for instance, let's say they threw the whole library at us in one shot. They're like, hey, you got access to all these games right now. You know, first day one, you have all these access. Everyone's going to spend money the first, 3 to 4 months, let's say, give or take. And they're going to play their certain games. And be like, oh my God, this is so cool, blah, 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 blah. But don't you feel that it might get stale after a while, knowing that you have a whole library and you're like, well, I guess they're not going to update shit because we already have the whole entire library there in our hands. And all I got to do is just maybe once in a blue, just activate the fucking PlayStation Plus Premium or Extra just to play them. Now, that's my thought. Or should I say, that's kind of a question. What do you think? Do you think I'm kind of like in that ballpark area? Like, if, let's say, for instance, they did something like that, Willie?
I mean, personally, I think that's a pretty dumb way of seeing things.
Emotional damage.
I'm not saying to throw out every single title in one shot.
Okay.
But at least make every title possible.
So you're saying
like Nintendo, because they're the ones that piss me off the most. If Nintendo were to tell you right now, okay, if you were to get Nintendo Online,
yeah,
you have access to X number of NES games, X number of Super NES games. We'll throw Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. Why not? We'll put Virtual Boy in there.
That'd be pretty cool.
But not just like drip feeding 1 or 2 games every month. I know that rights are an issue, and they might not have they might not have the rights to republish those games.
Okay.
But this is fucking Nintendo. If anyone is going to get third-party publishers to play along with games that they still own the IPs for, obviously, you're not going to be able to get. I'm sorry, you're not going to get GoldenEye 64 on Switch Online. But hey, Capcom, what if we throw all your Mega Mans in there? Is Capcom going to say no?
I mean, you do make a point there, Willie. You do make a point. I get it.
You think you can get your dumb asses out of those pachinko machines long enough for us to put all the Castlevania games in here?
That'd be fucking hot.
A few minutes later.
All right, Willie, but look, I get where you're coming from, dude. But the thing is, at least to me, if you're gonna have a whole library for everybody, I feel that it's gonna get stale. Everyone's just gonna be like, oh, okay, fuck it. You know, PlayStation put their whole library out there. I mean, you're gonna have the hardcore gamers like yourself. I kind of get in there. You're gonna have cousin Jose and a bunch of others that'll be like, cool. I get to play all these library of games with not a problem and enjoy them. But then you're gonna have some that just gonna be like, all right, it's there, fuck it, and just kind of like, I'll pay when I want to, jump in and out every once in a while, whatever. Like, damn, man, you know what I want to do this month? I want to binge gaming, have pizzas and whatever while playing this game that I loved when I was a kid. And then when I'm done, I'm done. But then again, what PlayStation's doing right now? No, but wait a minute. But what PlayStation's doing right now, that they're giving you kind of like a handful of games and that's it, like a month. I get also why it gets a little bit like you get eager for more. I do get that part too. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have some more games. Like for a fact, for PlayStation 1, they could throw in some other more classics. Doesn't have to be such a like if they're trying to throw in like an extra piece of ham and a sandwich and shit, like, hey, here, a little something extra and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I get it.
I have two counters. One,
yes.
I understand that there's the whole thing of wanting to make a big splash with certain big games. But number one, I don't think that the average gamer is going to sit there and say, all right, I'm going to come on for 1 month or two and just play a couple of games and then be out. If they do, they're doing that already.
Yeah.
Multiplayer. I mean, considering the amount of games that you have, the average gamer can sit through that list and see at least 5 games you want to play right now. Yeah. And if I'm getting maybe some other newer games, might keep them on. Number two, say right now you want to go and keep the list down. You don't want to have 100, maybe 120 games on there. What is the excuse for not having the games that define your console? If I'm thinking about PS1 games, why would I not expect to see Gran Turismo and Metal Gear Solid and Crash Bandicoot being offered?
Okay, all right.
Same thing with Nintendo. Why isn't every single Mario game on every single platform available for me to play?
I see.
I would say the same for Microsoft, but all their games are there.
Yeah, but until when? Until when though?
Until when? What do you mean?
Yeah, didn't they stop? Didn't they stop doing this whole service for certain games already?
For who?
Remember, Xbox stopped some services.
No, they stopped. They stopped Xbox and OG Xbox and Xbox 360 backwards compatible, like bringing out new titles.
Oh.
Their whole thing was, look, we've done all the ones that we can. We can't do no more.
Oh, I see.
You still have access to them.
Okay. All right. All right.
And all first-party titles. That's what I'm talking about with Microsoft. All their first-party titles are available on Game Pass. All the titles are available because they only have 12 of them, but they're available. Why isn't every Metroid game available on Switch Online? Why isn't every Crash Bandicoot and Spyro available on PS1 for PlayStation Plus Extra Premium?
All right. Well, I mean, I guess to be honest, Willie, this will be a great question for our audience. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think about both sides of this conversation that me and Willie are having? Like, at my point of view, I see it as, yes, it's a little bit bothersome, but at least I understand because they're trying to give you something just to kind of like look forward for, like, I guess the following month or whatever, versus putting everything out there. But then Willie pretty much has a counter for that, which does make sense as well as putting everything out there for gamers could just sit there and game, for they can have more of a purpose of playing those games, which it makes perfect sense. Please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts and let's have a conversation about this, because I'm pretty sure you guys have some compelling things you guys want to talk about everything about above and below that we're going to be talking about. So let's carry on with that. Now, Willie, best part of this already, that Bayonetta 3 release date is coming for October 2023. 22. Or 2022.
October 28th to be exact.
Ah. And I'm pretty sure you're excited because I know you're a big fan of Bayonetta, and the fact that you get to play this game fucking just in a couple months. It's coming out in 2022. You're right.
No, I mean, yes, I am a fan of Bayonetta.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only person who actually bought Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U.
I remember that. That was actually crazy.
And I have the original on PS3 and Xbox 360 as well. Fun fact, the Xbox 360 plays way better. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yes, I will be adding Bayonetta 3 to my collection.
Sweet. And
the games are awesome.
That's pretty cool.
You've never played them, right?
It's not that I haven't played it. I haven't really sat there and like want to play them. You know what I'm saying? Like just sit there and just literally focus on the game. The game is magnificently beautiful. Fuck everything else, man. It looks really beautiful.
Forget about how beautiful it is. This is Platinum Games. Consider Bayonetta to be God of War, just every once in a while naked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a beautiful game.
And a woman. It's a fun game to play. If you like spectacle fighters, you'll like this one.
Yeah, I'm all in for it.
Of course!
In other news, Willie, I'm pretty sure, again, you're excited for the 28th. It's all great and dandy, but the 27th is the part that I'm kind of scared about. Because the fact is the Sega Genesis Mini 2 hits North America on October 27th. And I know for the fact that you have a lot of things you have to say about that. Not so good ones. But I want to hear your opinions about it. Because I don't know. I'm not really thrilled about this freaking mini Sega as much as you are. But I really want to hear your thoughts about it.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm kind of disappointed, even though I knew it was coming. It was announced like 1 or 2 months ago.
Okay.
I get it. You know, they want to go and make some more money for this stuff. But this is not like, I don't know. How do I explain this? I have the Genesis Mini. It's a great little piece of tech. It's a nice little, I have just about all the mini consoles in the US except for the Neo Geo. And they're all awesome, you know, a little mini console that you can display there. You've seen that I have the custom stands from Etsy with the controllers and everything.
Yeah.
But now to get another one, just so I can get another bunch of Genesis games, do I want to do that? Because, I mean, okay, I'm not condoning you do this, but I hacked mine. I can just put those games in there.
Yeah.
So this is not for me. I don't want to go in and tell anybody else not to get it because the original Genesis Mini was really good, minus the 3-button controller.
Yeah.
But they're saying that with the Genesis Mini 2, you're going to get the 6-button controller. And I don't know what games are. I don't know if they've given the full games list for the US. I know I have a Japanese list. And I mean, yeah, there's some big games there: Virtual Racing, Outrun, Outrunners, Sonic CD, Shining Force CD, Sylphie. These are some pretty big games.
Got it.
No Eternal Champions. Oh wait a minute! Was Eternal Champions in the original Mini?
Which one?
Eternal Champions. It was a fighting game, a very good fighting game.
I remember that game though.
Very good fighting game, and the perfect reason to have a 6-button controller. I'm gonna check right now because I don't remember if what game it had. I need to find out
either.
Because
no reasons.
I have
there's a lot of valid reasons about this, Willie.
No. It's just the way that I am. But 42 games, okay, blah blah blah. Gunstar Heroes, Castlevania, Shining Force. These are all great games.
Yes.
Every game that the original Genesis Mini had was great. Because I'm extra, I wanted to have extra games. I did have Eternal Champions. Okay, so the 3-button one has a fighting game that requires 6 buttons. That makes perfect sense. But all right, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to dissuade anybody from getting the Genesis Mini 2 if that's your jam. But I don't see myself getting it.
I get you. I'm not gonna jump anywhere to get it anyways. I mean, honestly, I already have the Nintendo Switch, and I paid for that extra thing for it to play the Sega Genesis and all that stuff on there. So I don't see no reason of getting it, to be honest. And it's not like I'm gonna do anything with it. I already have the first Sega Mini. I got the Mini Nintendo and all that, so it's just there. So I'm not gonna jump for it.
I say that, and now I look at my setup, and I realize that I do have an extra space for a console.
You're a sick man.
Maybe,
but I'm okay with
a
that.
Shelf, and I can have the Genesis Mini 2. I don't know. I'm a problematic person.
Yeah, you are. But yes. And Willie, fuck that game. Fuck that system. I'm just saying right now. Fuck it.
No, I'm not gonna say fuck that system. It has a place. It has a place in the market. I personally not excited about it because, like I said, I have my remodded mine. But you know what? For anybody who wants to get those games, knock yourself out. That means you, sir. I know you're gonna get it.
He is. He will. But now, Willie, let's talk about something more amazing right now, and it's Top Gun Maverick breaks another box office record by passing Titanic, which that is big, dude. That's actually amazing. It did that. Now, what are your thoughts about this, Willie? I mean, I'm pretty much excited the fact that it did that. But what are your thoughts?
Well, we need to make a bit of a I always say more details.
Okay.
Because when we say that Top Gun Maverick passed Titanic, we're not talking about all time.
Okay.
Titanic is still the highest grossing movie worldwide of all time. More than $2 billion.
Yeah.
What we're talking about here is that Top Gun Maverick is officially the highest grossing domestic movie. Titanic previously had that record at $600.7 million. Top Gun Maverick is currently at 601.9. Even Endgame couldn't beat Titanic. Think about that.
Wow. All right.
Two of the highest grossing movies of all time. Star Wars, the Member Berries, and Avengers Endgame didn't make more than Titanic domestically. Now Top Gun Maverick did. Tom Cruise for the win.
I mean, yeah, you're right. And I'm glad. I'm dead serious. I'm glad that movie is doing that good and it's still kicking ass. That's great. Now, one movie that I'm kind of concerned about, Willie, is the Bad Boy franchise. Now, Martin Lawrence confirmed that this is going to be a Bad Boys 4, and it's still moving forward with Will Smith on the whole movie script and everything. I have not seen the latest one yet. I think you have, right?
Yeah.
How was it? Was it okay, mediocre, bad? What?
It's fine.
Okay, so it's fine. It was a decent movie. It wasn't nothing like the first one, nothing like the second, but it was just there. In other words.
Really? Just, you know what? Just play the clip.
I am so tired.
Can you stop?
I mean, look.
Can you stop?
Look, in the wake of the conversation of the whole controversy, Willie, the surrounding co-stars of Bad Boys franchise, Martin Lawrence has surrounded out saying some positive note regarding the future of the franchise next installment, which is Bad Boys 4. Now, that's great. And I'm going to be honest with this part too. I've never seen Will Smith go past like a third movie. Well, how long was Men in Black? Was like what? Like Men in Black was like 4 movies?
4 movies if you had the one with Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson.
Okay, I haven't seen that one either. Okay, so this will be like
Men in Black International.
Okay, so that'll be those will be like the second franchise that he's actually going past the number 2? Because he doesn't make sequels for some apparent reason. Like he's kind of like a 1 shot or a 2 shot, and like no, not even 2 shot. Like he just do 1 shot and that's it. Like he's gone. And it's pretty interesting.
But anyway, Martin Lawrence has said that yes, there is going to be another Bad Boys movie,
Okay.
and Will Smith is on board with this. He was talking to Ebony Magazine, and he mentioned it. And you know what? Fine, I get it. I get it. Y'all want to make money. That's good. Just, I'll sit to the side. I'm tired.
I get this one, man.
I
You know what?
saw a trailer for Orphan First Kill. We're bringing that one back out.
I don't even want to
sure.
see that movie. That movie looks horrible already. Like, I was like, and it's a movie like what, like a prequel to how everything started?
I don't think so.
But it looks bad. It looks bad.
know.
That movie looks horrible. Like, my opinion, that it looks bad. I don't like it.
I believe
I was okay with the first movie.
But listen, I know someone who's excited for Orphan First Kill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm happy for her. Happier still because it's going to be available on digital as well as theaters on day one. So she doesn't necessarily have to go to the theater to see it. But I'll be here just watching my nephew play Spider-Man. I'm good.
All right, Willie, bring the fact
Do I
that
sound defeated because I feel defeated?
no, you sound like ran through the mud defeated. Like you're just, oh my god, you're just through that shit already. But now, Willie, I do want to see what are your opinions on this part right here. And it's Marvel producers shed light on the purpose of Marvel of the MCU Phase 4, which I have to be honest, I didn't think anything now about a Phase 4 because everything that they've been showing, huh?
We're in Phase 4 right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm saying. Everything that we see now, I haven't seen anything that kind of be like, oh, I see what's gonna happen. Oh, there's a Phase 4. Like it's kind of like a standalone for almost everything, but there's nothing kind of guiding you to like something big and interesting for Phase 4. Because you already know how Phase 1 was, you know, getting the Avengers together. Phase 2 and all the other things were like kind of like happening in that sense. I don't see nothing for Phase 4. It's kind of like just a white piece of paper with a lot of things on it, but it's not making any sense. But it looks like this producer is shedding some light on the fact that there's going to be like there's a reason for it. Can you help me out with this, Willie?
Well, before we do that, let's talk about the first three phases of the MCU. Remember, the first one was all about, like you said, getting the Avengers together and introducing the big bad.
Yes.
Phase 2, more people joined the chat, and plans are going on in the background. Phase 3 is all Thanos is here, and he's going to fuck all of you up.
Yeah.
And it culminated with Endgame. That was the end of Phase 3. That was the end of that entire arc. And it's true. For now, Phase 4 has seemed like aimless. Like there was no real destination for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, a Marvel producer has put something in that I'm going to say is interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. The producer's name is Richie Palmer, and he was talking to Empire on the Spoiler Special podcast. He went and said this. I want you to think about this.
Go ahead.
I quote, Phase 4 is all a reaction. And I don't mean on our part as filmmakers, I mean the characters. It's a reaction to the trauma of Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. We're still feeling those effects in these movies years later. Now, the thinking is, remember that there was a 5-year time jump between what happened in Infinity War and the beginning of Endgame, to everything that happened afterwards. There was a 5-year time jump. Everybody's coming to grips with everything that Thanos did, and then he won. And what they're basically saying here is, this is all these characters basically dealing with the aftermath of everything that happened with Thanos. When you think about it,
It makes
A lot
sense.
of a lot of these characters basically did not exist for 5 years. Sam was gone. No, Ant-Man was in the quantum realm, but everyone he knew was blipped. Well, except his daughter, thank God. A lot of these characters just appeared five years later, and how's that going to affect people?
Dude, it actually makes sense. Weird that now that you bring it up like that, it does make sense. Because if we started off with oh my god, how do we start off phase 4? We started off with Sam and this guy, right?
Phase four officially the first movie after Endgame was Far From Home, Spider-Man Far From Home, and you see the effects of a Peter Parker having to deal with the fact that Tony's dead.
Yeah.
And a lot of his classmates dealing with the fact that they were gone for 5 years.
Yeah.
Then some of them are like, wait a minute, I came back. This one kid, he used to be in elementary school. Now he's with us.
Huh.
So
I get it.
Yeah, I get. I mean, it's quite a bit of a long getting used to phase. But what they're saying essentially is that all these things that we're watching now, Shang-Chi, not Black Widow, but Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Hawkeye, No Way Home, all these shows and movies are happening in a very concentrated space of time.
It is. You're absolutely right.
Essentially happens right after No Way Home. Hawkeye happens somewhere in between. It's a very small space, and so they're probably taking this whole time to basically say, well, this is all the stuff that people are dealing with now, right before the next major baddie gets announced. Whether they're going to make it Kang or Doctor Doom, I don't know.
So are we gonna say pretty much that phase 4 is more like a PTSD type of thing?
More of a catch your breath. You've been through a lot. Have a snack. Let's talk about it.
Got it. So it's kind of like a slowdown before we catch up to phase 5.
Now, I will say, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not going to say anything. But the last episode of Miss Marvel just dropped something pretty fucking huge.
I haven't seen it yet. I gotta see it.
I'm not going to say what it is. And, it could be an overreaction. But something was said and something was shown. But the something that was shown was not that much of a surprise. The thing that was said was the thing that's like, what?
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to see it because I know that as soon as you hear it, you're going to light up.
Yeah. Willie knows, like, technically right now, if this whole show, I'm going to be watching it, and somewhere around 1 or 2 in the morning, I'm going to be like, what? Like, just out of nowhere, because that's how I am. Yeah.
And I will say that, this is probably the reason why Phase 4 has been seen as, I wouldn't say a failure, but a disappointment to a lot of people. Because after dealing with things like Thanos, I mean, who are you dealing with now?
It's true. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, people are conveniently not speaking about that giant, that giant being that was coming out of the planet.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not even kidding. Like this whole phase 4, I've been liking it, but then now after reading that whole thing about it, it makes sense. I was like, yeah, what the fuck? Like there's nothing there. There's no threat that's huge or nothing. It's just like small stories of people with these traumatic moments of what happened to them in the blip and all that stuff. And it's just ongoing.
Some of the stories are huge, are big. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man and No Way Home aren't exactly small stories.
No.
They're
But
small,
still,
they're personal in what the characters are dealing with.
Yeah.
But they have a pretty big scope.
Yeah.
We're talking about multiversal shit here.
No, indeed. You're right.
And
I
the
just
TV shows
felt
have
there was more
handled
to it.
all the TV shows have handled all the small things.
They're fillers, technically.
I mean, they're giving extra context and extra meat to what's going to happen in the movies. I will say though that they need to pace these things better. Maybe give it more than 6 episodes because Moon Knight and Marvel especially felt like they rushed past after the second episode.
I feel the same way. Good show, but I still feel that they rushed a lot of things. Like towards the end, like the last episode, I felt was rushed as fuck.
I'm not mad at either of those shows, but pretty much all of them. WandaVision, which had 9 episodes, still felt rushed in the end.
Yeah.
We got to work on their pacing.
I agree. And you know what? I think our audience will have to let us know what their thoughts about this. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, what are your thoughts about this? Everything that we just talked about, this whole Marvel Phase 4 and above. Please comment down below. Let us know your thought. What?
You don't have to tell us. But,
No, I want to know. Yeah, talk to us. Have a conversation with us. Hell, just say hi. We'll answer. But man, yeah.
You just basically ask them to just write hi in the comments.
Yeah. Why not? We'll say hi back.
Okay, I mean, just telling you. That's gonna be the conversation. It's just gonna be. Everybody's gonna be hi.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be hi. It's just let's see how far high can go in that fucking chat room. I can't wait. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, man. This is the end of the show as you see already. And yes, as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button just so that we come up with that amazing news, which is 3 times a week. Mondays, Wednesday, and Friday, and a little something in between. Willie, any last words?
No, I think I'm done.
I'm so tired. Willie is so tired. He's so done. But guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on Friday. Peace.